Welcome back to Valley News Now. Adam Shalfo joined by Kortney Lockey. Kortney, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I don't like mosquitoes.
Not
a fan.
I don't think many people do. Lisa was here to deliver the good news on the desk just a couple of minutes ago, talking about the drought and how the rain has really helped us come out of that really fast. Now I'm here with the bad news.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, an essential part of the ecosystem, I'm sure. But yeah, a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And not very fun. But I know you've been very hard at working, and I know probably still far from an expert on these little pests.
Getting there.
But I know you've learned a lot over the last 2 days. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the mosquitoes that are coming from all the rainfall that we've had and all that standing water is left behind.
Right, so as you mentioned, I'm not a mosquito expert, but somebody who is Ben Prather with the Cass County Vector Control, and I was able to meet and talk with him just a little bit about what they're seeing. They are super busy right now, so the number one question I had for him is really, what does all this rain mean for mosquito season? And right now, all the rain we've seen is really helping them to breed, and he kind of shared a little bit of a warning for us, if you want to share that with everybody.
Sure.
We have seen a major, significant amount of rainfall here in the past 14 days, past 30 days, and that is going to create some problems for us here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so essentially what you just heard him say was that here, the mosquito population, it's going to be bad. It's not bad yet. So right now, it's going to be over the next couple of weeks is when they're really expected. These mosquitoes are being bred. They haven't necessarily hatched right now. So some of what they're doing right now that's really important is they're laying a lot of that product. They're getting out in the field. You've probably seen their side-by-side ATVs out in the field, their trucks going around.
Sure.
To prevent them from even hatching. And so actually what a lot of people don't know either is that in the past 3 years, they have only sprayed once, and that was actually last year. So since 2020, only one spray. And when I asked him what he thought about this year, he said, I think we're going to have to spray a lot. So that kind of gives us an indication of what we're going to see. They typically don't start breathing or spraying until about 3 weeks into June. So we're not quite there yet, but it's definitely going to be happening. It's definitely going to come. And then I think something that's important to talk about is what can we do as people? I mean, when you think mosquitoes, what do you typically think of protecting yourself?
Bug repellent and...
Right.
Anti-itch creams.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I think too. But it's actually a lot more than that, than those two things. And there are a couple of good advice that he also shared. If we want to hear from him one more time on that.
Spots, maybe bring in some fill, try to move that sump pump hose around, and certainly can empty your containers. Look at those potters and those things. We're definitely seeing a lot of habitat emerging that maybe people haven't expected in the last few years. And if you're leaving containers and other things out there, you're certainly just going to welcome more mosquito biting pressure in the next couple weeks and months.
So really what he's saying through all of this is that if you have sitting water in your yard anywhere, whether it be in flower pots or maybe you have a little bit of junk, maybe you have old tires that have filled up with water, that's going to really invite those mosquitoes
in. Okay.
So a lot of people have been saying that they've seen mosquitoes already, and that's true. They are seeing them. They're out. But the vast majority of them are the mosquitoes that were bred during the spring months, and those typically do not bite people.
Interesting.
Yes. So the majority of the ones that we're seeing right now shouldn't be a nuisance, but the ones that are coming most certainly will be.
Have you gotten any bites yet?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
You have?
I think, 1 or 2. Just, at the Red Hawks game, whatever. And, that is an area where you can have a lot of standing water kind of around the stadium, some of those areas. But I'm just going to spray up.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to just be ready and do my best.
Yeah.
But
And speaking of spray, one more thing that I feel like is important to mention, just because we get so many calls about it, people asking us about it. There are no major health concerns with the aerial sprays that
Good to
they're
know.
going to be doing. Yes.
Okay.
So you don't need to stay inside. You're not at risk. These products are heavily regulated by the state. They're heavily regulated federally. And so, yeah, they're meant to be around us. And one thing Ben even said was, you'll find a lot more chemicals at your home that are way more toxic to you. So for the people who are concerned, we hear you, we understand those concerns, is kind of what Ben had to say about that. But we also do need to use these sprays because mosquito biting is, we can't have that running amok. It could be really bad if they weren't able to apply the spray, especially this year is what that's looking like.
that makes a lot of sense. Well, I know you're going to have more on this later today, so what can the viewers expect later on our broadcasts?
Yeah, if you want to hear more from the actual expert, Ben Prather, and then I think we're also going to be talking to Summer about how much rain we've seen if you were to miss Lisa's hit. That's going to be coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6. So be sure to tune in there.
Excellent. Well, Kortney, thank you so much for joining us and informing us on some of this stuff and previewing the stories coming up tonight. For now, that's all we got on the Valley News Now digital desk. We'll see you later.